Welcome to our WIFR Fastcast. I'm Daniel Burbank. From the WIFR News Now desk, the Rockford Education Association board leaders are set to vote on a potential last formality before calling for a strike. Even as Rockford Public Schools says negotiations move in the right direction, REA members have said that they already voted to authorize a strike in late January, saying several issues are on the table, including wages, retirement benefits, and retroactive pay. After the union and district met on Monday, both say there's little disagreements left in contract negotiations. But now, Superintendent Aaron Jarrett argues RPS could start to lay off staff members due to rising costs and the new contract. Nathaniel Langley speaks with Jarrett and the REA president, Claudia Marshall, on any progress on the deal.
Two kind of mitigating factors that are going to be really crucial for us to keep in mind is one, making sure this is something that is financially sustainable for the district, and two, this has to be something that really does help us attract and retain teachers.
The movement that was made last night was incredibly positive for both sides, and so we are hoping that we don't have to take our strike to the labor board, but we will have it in place and ready on hold if it needs to be.
A garage is reduced to rubble after it was destroyed in a fire Tuesday morning. Let's take a look at some of that footage here. The fire happened in the 1300 block of Harlem Road at Machesney Park. You can see smoke still coming from that detached garage by the time that we got there. The fire shut down surrounding streets for several hours. No damage spread to nearby homes, but still no word on if anyone was hurt. A 29-year-old man is in the hospital after Ogle County deputies say he was involved in a serious three-car crash. Investigators believe Devin Palmer was driving on East Illinois Route 72 and North Mulford Road when he didn't yield and hit a semi. The driver of the truck was not hurt, and another car was hit in the crash. That driver was also not hurt. A new judge is selected in the trial of 42-year-old Duke Webb, the man accused of shooting and killing 3 people at Don Carter Lanes in 2020. Winnebago County Judge Ryan Smith will preside over the case. Webb requested to remove Judge John Gibson's from the case last month, and Judge Deborah Schaefer granted his request. Webb has also to decide whether he'll represent himself in court, use a public defender, or hire outside counsel. Webb has pleaded not guilty on several charges, including murder. Dominique Servant and her boyfriend Joey Ruffin face charges after investigators say they killed her 8-year-old son, Marco Pierce. On Friday, police say they were called to a home in Lake Beach for an unresponsive 8-year-old. Pierce would later die at the hospital. Investigators say he had bruises on his body and looked like he wasn't fed in a while. Prosecutors say Servant and Ruffin admitted to regularly hitting Merkel and his 10-year-old sibling with belts and forcing them to carry 8-pound weights as a punishment.
Never seen any signs of anything, just the smallness, how small he may have gotten when I did see him, for Thanksgiving. But she said he was sick.
If you are abusing your child or criminally neglecting their basic needs, and that child dies, you will be prosecuted for first-degree murder in Lake County.
An Illinois bill could clear guidelines for convicted sex offenders who are released from prison. The proposed bill would have those people be released into the community where they were sentenced or where they established ties. The placement must consider public victim safety circumstances or unavailable treatment. Chilling images appear to capture an armed individual appearing to have tampered with cameras at Nancy Guthrie's home the morning she disappeared. It's taken the technology company and law enforcement 10 days to get these images since Guthrie's cameras were not connected to the cloud and she did not save recorded images. Savannah Guthrie posted a video on Instagram asking for her mother to come home. A former FBI hostage negotiator says the latest plea for help from Guthrie provides big information.
The fact that Savannah now has done this recent video of pleading directly to the American people, that is a big indication that they no longer right now have faith in the abductors doing the right thing for them.
U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement Border Patrol leaders were questions from House Homeland Security Committee Tuesday about President Trump's administration immigration crackdown. It's their first appearance before lawmakers since federal agents fatally shot Alex Preddy and Renee Good in Minneapolis. Immigration officials say protesters stopped operations and created a deadly environment.
Will you apologize to the family of Renee Good for being called a domestic terrorist by the president and his leadership?
No, sir.
Will you apologize to the family of Alex Preddy for also being called a domestic terrorist?
Sir, again, I'm not going to speak to any ongoing investigation.
A crucial vote this week could lay the groundwork for new election rules. The House taking up the Save America Act, which would create stricter registration requirements. WIFR Washington correspondent Stephen Goyne breaks down the bill and the backlash.
Republicans say this bill is all about securing elections, but Democrats argue it's part of a larger push to disenfranchise voters. The Save America Act now taking center stage in the national debate over election integrity. President Donald Trump urging Republicans to pass the bill, while a majority of Democrats are strongly opposed. The legislation would require citizens to provide documentary proof of U.S. citizenship when registering to vote. But on Capitol Hill, the Democratic Women's Caucus arguing it could disproportionately impact women.
More paperwork, more bureaucracy between women and the ballot box.
The bill requires those who register by mail to later show proof of citizenship in person, something Democrats say could burden caregivers and rural women.
Women could be forced to drive 5 hours round trip just to vote. Working women can't afford to take that time off of work. And by the way, who's going to care for the kids?
Lawmakers also point to the millions of women who have changed their names after marriage as a group that could face additional hurdles. Democrats alleging this.
Under the SAVE Act, if your current name does not exactly fit and match the name on your birth certificate or citizenship papers, you could be blocked from registering to vote.
However, the bill does require states to create processes to resolve document discrepancies. Meanwhile, Republicans argue the legislation would strengthen confidence in elections, ensuring only U.S. citizens are voting.
It eliminates even the appearance of impropriety, even the appearance of fraud or controversy. Why would we be against that?
Now, if this bill advances through the House, it faces a tougher challenge in the Senate, needing 60 votes to pass. In Washington, I'm Stephen Goen.
Well, in less than 3 hours, rising hockey stars from 32 teams will participate in the American Hockey League All-Star Game at the BMO Center. Joining us is WIFR's Shrikar Rajendran, and he's going to fill us in outside a block party. As we cue this up, go like that. Shrikar, fill us in on what's going with the pregame block party as it's set to begin.
Daniel, in just under 30 minutes, this entire road is going to be streamlined with fans as they get ready for the ringside block party ahead of the AHL All-Star Skills Competition right here in the BMO Center in Rockford for the first time ever. Now, as you can see behind me, the setup is still going on. They got the fire pits going, good for s'mores for the kids. They got the Jenga set up. It's going to be family-friendly fun for all ages, and it'll be a fun event overall. You know, you look at an auspicious event like this coming to Rockford, this is a celebration to commemorate it. And again, in 30 minutes, this entire road is going to be packed. So we'll go right back to you, Daniel, but it's going to be a lot of fun. The anticipation is slowly building. Should be a lot of fun here.
Story of the All-Star Game at 10 o'clock. Just to recap, Shrikar will be live at 5 o'clock and at 10 o'clock with everything you need to know on the All-Star Game. It was another warm start to our week as we hit in the 40s back-to-back days on Tuesday. Look at what that high temperature could be, 46 degrees. And by the time we hit Valentine's Day, look at that, 50 degrees for Valentine's Day. We love to see that. And then again, Sunday, partly cloudy, close to 50, just in time for President's Day. Seems to be a big warm-up in